Good morning. How's it going, guys? Just got my car back from the shop. Shop called British 4x4 over in Aurora. Shout out to Brian. Thank you so much for working on my vehicle on short notice. But basically got a coil conversion done because the air suspension wasn't pumping back up. I was going to replace the suspension with the coils anyways. I was just seeing how long the air suspension would last before putting me in a position where I couldn't really drive the car, which is what happened. But yeah, basically the ride height sensor on the front passenger side was faulty. So I would be driving and then it would lower itself to access height while I was driving, so it was super bouncy and not good for the car, and not good for anybody inside either. But yeah, so what I was doing was just pumping it back up and then taking the, it was like a 20 amp fuse for the ride height. Took that out, and then it would keep the car from lowering itself. And then I would just drive it in standard height all the time, and then overnight the front end would sink a bit, so I would have to repump it up. But then one day I got in and it said suspension fault, and it would not let me adjust the height at all. So then that's when I just called the tow truck driver and got it towed to British 4x4 in Aurora. The coil conversion kit I used was from Suncore Industries. It's the same that we have on my wife's LR3. It is a non-reflash kit, so all the faults and stuff are still popping up for it, which I don't really mind for now, because for some reason they stopped popping up on my wife's LR3. And again, it's the non-reflash bypass kit or whatever it's called. And we don't get any beeps or warnings on her car anymore. At the beginning, I think we get like a suspension fault, and then that's it. So for this car though, I've had it back for a day, and there's still a couple of faults that pop up every now and then, but it's not very consistent. So I'm hoping it just ends up being the same thing as my wife's LR3, and the messages just get tired of telling me. So let's hope that's what it is. But yeah, so far the suspension kit is super comfortable. Again, it's the Suncore Industries one, same as my wife's on her LR3, and it's smooth. It handles bumps well. It's not rigid or like too sporty or uncomfortable or anything. It's comfortable. And I know a lot of people are talking about like, oh, you got rid of like the main feature from the Range Rover or from your Land Rover or whatever. I mean, my first Discovery, my first Land Rover, the 1996 Discovery, didn't have air suspension, so I didn't think anything of it. And I think it's funny that a lot of people just make a huge deal about it. I get that it's a main feature, but it's not what makes it a Land Rover by any means. It's just something that people want to remove, to take inconvenience, another inconvenience out of the equation. Because I mean, it would lower itself to access height when I was driving it. I just didn't want any more trouble with the air suspension, just because you hear so many things, and then I experienced it myself. And there's just a lot of components that can go wrong, either the ride height sensor or the air compressor or the airbag struts themselves. And it's just easier. This kit that I got, the Suncore Industries kit, it was only $645. There is a kit from Atlantic British for about $1,650 or $1,700 out the door after tax. That does come with a reflash kit. But I just wanted to get something quick, and the person that I bought the LR3 from, he recommended the Suncore Industries kit just because essentially does the same thing. You just have to deal with the beeps, which I didn't mind, and for half the price, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. But again, like I said, hopefully, like on my wife's LR3, the messages kind of just get lazy and go away. But yeah, it rides smooth. I think I still need to do like some sway bar bushings on the front and back, and then the shop was recommending I think upper control arms, or maybe both upper and lower control arms for the front. But yeah, Suncore Industries, 645. Shipping was quick. It was like 4 days, and I did the free shipping. But yeah, it just comes with the four coils, and I don't have to worry about the front sagging anymore, which is really nice. I remember when I was using the just the air suspension, the back would be up correctly, and then there's just like this much room up front toward the end of the day. But again, I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is nice. Like if you want to get the coil conversion because you don't want to deal with the inconvenience, that's a great reason to get it. Some people were telling me don't go off-roading with the coil suspension, which I don't know why. Like maybe it's not as good as the air suspension when you have all the features of the terrain response. But again, I mean, people off-road in lifted coil converted kits on their Discos and other Range Rovers, P38s and whatnot. So I think it just depends on what you prefer. And I prefer not to deal with the air suspension. And I'm gonna, majority of the time I'm driving it in standard height anyways. So yeah, that is it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.